Hey, what's going on there, guys? Today, Dr. Jason here. I want to talk to you today about marinade. I know it doesn't sound real sexy and exciting, but it can change your life. Trust me, this marinade is awesome. If you're someone like me that is just wants things to be simple and straightforward with cooking, and if you're a little bit more picky about meat, I don't like the actual flavor of like plain meat. I don't like when things get all chewy and weird, then marinades are your friend. So this is something we use quite a bit at our house. It's really simple. I used to think you had to marinate stuff like overnight, which takes a lot of planning and prep. You don't in this case, okay? So a couple tips here I learned over the years of trial and error and listening to chefs on different shows and stuff like that. It's a 60-minute marinade, really simple. I'm gonna pick chicken, but you could pick other meats if you'd like. You wanna get your chicken breast and you wanna try and fillet it, okay? You can either lay it flat on your cutting surface there, you know, slice it in half, or I stand mine up on end and slice down this way, whatever. Fillet it, slice it in half. Obviously, you probably want to trim off any of the little parts and bits that you don't like in there. You're going to then start to, after you get done filleting all your meat there, put that in a baggie. I want you to add just throw it in there. Don't even worry about the amount. Make it simple on yourself. I want you to throw in there apple cider vinegar. I probably roughly use maybe, you know, I don't know, quarter to a third of a cup. Just throw it in there. It doesn't matter. Apple cider vinegar. What does that do? That tenderizes the meat. Those acids start to break down some of the flesh of the meat, tenderizing it, and it makes a huge difference. Now, we're also going to throw in there some Celtic or Himalayan salt. Salt, as you probably know, is going to help enhance the flavor of everything, but what salt does is it brings hydration, right? It brings fluids into those meat tissues, so they actually resist the heat when you cook it, and it's going to retain a lot of moisture throughout the cooking process. It's awesome. So we got the apple cider vinegar in there. We got some salt in there. Again, I'm just throwing that stuff in there. I'm not gonna measure it, honestly. I'm gonna say, you know, maybe half a teaspoon in there for a gallon baggie. I'm also then gonna throw in there probably a good, I don't know, 2 to 3 to 4 tablespoons of coconut aminos. I don't know if you ever heard of these before. They are yummy though. They're a nice little thing that, I don't know if you hear about them a lot out there or not. Kind of like a soy sauce, but a little bit more savory plus a sweet combined, so pretty yummy. I'm gonna throw those in that bag as well. And then finally, I'm gonna go with some black pepper, or you can even do, get a little bit more exotic, do some smoked paprika. You can experiment with different flavors, by the way, but I would definitely make it a base with the apple cider vinegar, the salt, and then your coconut aminos. That's just kind of the base I would use, and then you can exchange or throw in different herbs. You're gonna get that in that baggie with the meat, right? And we're gonna seal that up real good. And we've actually done 2 or 3 baggies full. You can do a whole grill full, a whole oven full, whatever. You're gonna kind of massage that around, you know, mix that up nicely. A big key is to not put it back in the fridge, okay? And I know some of these like food, public health folks are gonna be like, wait a minute, you can't leave meat out. Yes, you can. Restaurants do it all the time. Remember, you have vinegar in there, you have salt in there, nothing's gonna grow in there, guys, while you're letting it sit out for an hour. You've got protection, because again, that thing is saturated with antimicrobials, another bonus, right? So you're gonna let that sit out on the counter, purposely start to raise that chilly temperature of that meat up toward room temperature. Again, restaurants do this all the time. You may not know that. That's one reason they can cook a pretty darn good steak at some of these places. And then every 15 minutes or so you walk by, maybe you're doing other things, I want you to flip those bags over to make sure we get that marinade, you know, soaking into all those tissues in there. And then about an hour goes by, and then throw that on the grill. I do recommend preheating though. Preheating is big with cooking meat. You don't want to let that slowly get up to temperature. You want that thing to be hot. I'd say, you know, maybe 400 to 500 degrees or so. Another big key is I would suggest you sear it at a higher temperature if you can. You know, if you kind of got some grill skills on the grill, sear the meat at a higher temperature, both sides for a minute or two, get some marks on there. And you can have the lid down with that, by the way, on the grill. Then lift that lid up. That's important. That's a big key. And continue cooking the meat there. One thing, you don't want to flip it constantly, okay? Let it cook for 2 or 3 minutes per side and then go from there. But I would leave the lid up. What I found is when the lid is down on the grill, you're overcooking it. It ends up getting to 600 to 700 degrees, and it just dries the crap out of it and it gets all rubbery and gross. But that's what I do. And then you can check it. Now, I'm gonna show you this. You might not be able to see it very well, but a lot of cooks use this technique to check doneness, right? They actually take their thumb to their pinky, and then that is gonna be like chicken done, maybe to your ring finger, okay? And you just kind of get used to taking your little, like your little tongs there for your grill, and kind of touching the meat and seeing if it represents about the firmness of that thumb muscle right there when it's aligned with my ring finger. That's about where you want to be for doneness, okay? If it's more over here toward index finger, squishy, raw, right? And if we get too more toward the pinky side, it gets too firm, okay? So kind of give that some thought, practice with it. You're gonna have to trial and error a little bit. That's okay, part of living, right? It's part of learning. But I'm just telling you, this marinade is awesome and it only takes an hour. So try that out and let me know how it goes. Take care, bye-bye.